Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Bunyun and welcome to another Battlefield 3 gameplay commentary. I don't think I've mentioned this story before, but a couple years ago we still live in this neighborhood that was not really renowned for its safety. Let's put it that way. Like the people that lived there, like if you went to lunch and they were sitting at a table and there was like 2 chairs available there and everything else was full, you'd be like, I'ma eat standing up or starve. So it was kind of that neighborhood. Like, let me put it this way. I never went out of the house. There was tennis courts, basketball courts. I think there was a pool that nobody swam in. It was one of those things, and all of those things were about 3 to 4 minutes walking from the house. I never ever met the neighbors. We never talked. All I know is that occasionally there would be extremely loud Spanish music coming from the next house, and occasionally they would go out and about 40 of them would come out of the house and get into a van. I'm not trying to be stereotypical here. If anything, I'm complimenting the advanced technique of fitting a lot of people into a van. I know somebody out there is probably going right now like, oh Dios mío, Margarita la parte de la San Jose. No, Nick, oh no, you didn't. Listen to me, gringo. Listen to me, gringo. You right say, let's go to Las Vegas and play football and yell out goal. Okay, I don't know, I'm going in this weird side note here. I had a burrito a second ago from Chipotle. Maybe that put something in it. Anyway, I used to live in this bad neighborhood and we never went out. You didn't want to go out, let me put it that way. One of the major problems came when I got my first car, which was a 1989 Oldsmobile Royale 88. The problem was that the driveway was designed for 2 cars. My dad would park his van and my mom would park her minivan over there, which left me to park my car on the street. And the problem was that you were not allowed to park on the street, even though there was a lot of room for people to pass by. According to subdivision rules, you were not allowed to park on the street. And I started getting citations, and it got to the point where I got so many that they were like, hey, if we gotta do this again, we're gonna tow your car. So now my options were to get rid of the car or go park it overnight at the tennis courts. So that night, for the first time, I took my car to the tennis courts parking lot. When I did that, there were a couple of people hanging out there, a group of them. I'm not gonna name the color of their skin or the humidity on their back, but let's put it this way. They were not the group of people that you could approach and be like, hey guys, would you like to solve a Rubik's Cube together? So all I did, I went and I parked the car in a parking spot there. It didn't bother anybody. It was not in anybody's way. I got out of the car and I went home. Now that night, it rained really badly, so please keep that in mind. I woke up in the morning, I got dressed, and I went to the tennis courts parking lot. There is where I noticed that there was something extra in my car. Something that was not there when I left it. It was red and it was in the shape of a brick. It was a brick that went through my rear windshield. Now keep in mind that it rained the whole night and the car had those red cloth, very absorbent seats, and because the brick broke my rear windshield, it rained in the back and the seats. It was that humidity swamp-like smell in the car. And so for the first time ever, I had to call the cops. I picked up my Samsung flip phone, flipped that thing open, hit 911, I hit send, expecting that a beautiful oversized lady more focused on painting her toenails would answer and say, thank you for calling 911, what's your emergency? However, that did not happen. As a matter of fact, it didn't happen for 17 minutes. Yes, for 17 whole minutes, I was on hold while calling 911. Can you imagine how terrible that would have been if I was in a more critical situation, like a drive-by or a huge fight or something like that? So eventually somebody picked up, I told them what happened, and they said that they would send a police officer to my location. It took that police officer 23 minutes to show up to my location. He just came, wrote a report, and I never ever heard from him again. From that moment on, I parked the car in front of the house on the grass. I completely ruined the grass in front of the house in that subdivision, but I don't feel bad at all. You know why? Because the police station was 5 minutes away. So today I'm going to talk about robbers and hackers, and the one thing that you guys might not know is that if you catch them doing something bad, you're not supposed to make that information public for their own quotation safety. I know some of you might be thinking like, what exactly are you talking about? So let me give you guys the real life story that happened a couple of years ago. Me and my friend went to the mall and I was driving, I parked at